Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks again so much for joining me here. We're taking another look here at Solana, seeing what's going on. It's looking pretty good, folks. No other way around it. Solana's holding on fairly strong compared to the majority of the market, which is just straight up dumping. So please, please, please be very careful taking, honestly, a short position, but also be careful taking it long. And I'll explain what I mean by that here in a moment. And again, if you're going to discontinue watching because I say not to take a trade right now, you probably shouldn't be trading because there's so many times in the market that you have to literally pump the brakes, relax, and take it easy and wait for specific scenarios to occur. Now we could identify that here soon, but earlier today I told my community do not take a short position, and those who took longs took profit. This is one of the only coins, honestly, that has done very well today, and there's good reason. It's paired itself independent, if you will, with Bitcoin. So basically when Bitcoin pulls back instead of yanking back with it, it's been relief rallying consistently. So again, you can only do that so long and then it starts to dissipate. But for now, again, looking pretty strong in the overall sense. Okay, let's quickly note, just to preface here, 170 is still a liquidation level to the downside. As I talked about yesterday, 166 also still present. So you got to recognize there's still a lot of liquidation to the downside and less to the upside. We got there's $1 billion worth of liquidation at 185. So again, there's still some there. But if you look at the area here at 170, 165, there's probably somewhere in the range of 2 to 3 billion all the way down. So there's a lot of liquidation down there, folks. It's heavier than the upside, implying that the price, if it does pull back, those will be the levels to focus on. So again, cool stuff. What's really nice here, and future reference, if you're part of our Discord, make sure you just join with our coin calls. You get to be able to choose to pick whichever rules you want assigned, and those are tied to our trade alerts. This is a newer feature that I provide to my community. So again, make sure that you enable all channels so you can kind of be able to view that. Last but not least, again, some nice profits here. BNB short, Bitcoin short, 20% roughly for both. And then, of course, we had our Solana short, 22%, and Near Protocol, 29%. That was yesterday. So it's been a good little past couple of days here. We've been able to hit basically 4 out of 5 short targets. We have one more left with ICP that's getting close. So if you're in profit there, folks, adjust your stop loss lower just to make sure. But generally speaking, we want to find out if it's worth taking a long or a short here now. That's the question I get. So let's jump to it. So looking at the daily time frame, we want to recognize some important stuff. First of all, moving averages are still below the price action. We still got good momentum. There's no reason to even think that the sky is falling here. We're tentatively honoring the ascending trend line too, I believe, on smaller time frames. And generally speaking, we're at this point here where stochastic RSI, even though yes, it's pulling back, RSI and money flow index are effectively bouncing. That usually implies we have a lot of support in this range. Now, I drew out some smaller time frame fib levels here just for the example here today, so we'll look at that. Actually, let's do that right now in the 4 hour, because these are areas of retracement. And again, I post this generally in my Discord, again, within my trade alerts. I give you summarizations of those levels. But at this point, since we're here, the more recent point of control is 174. I'm rounding up a little bit, but 174, that would be the logical next place in which the price would bounce. Okay, because again, we could be having a scenario where the price action is continuing higher from here, breaking its more recent high at 185. Once more, that's a possibility. It's also equally as possible for the price to go down, but once more, we're holding fairly strong. Let's talk about that. We're over 50 on the RSI. Very few coins are saying that right now. Stochastic is swinging down, of course, with the majority of the market, but as long as we hold 50 on the RSI, me personally, I think we're in good shape. Same thing with money flow index. That's pulling back as well. If that can kind of remain still in the same area, then we're going to be in pretty good shape. But we see too much money flowing away from the coin. We're going to see a lot of selling pressure and not enough buying pressure. That's when things get kind of weird. The thing we got to recognize here is that we're likely topped out here. And if this is an ABC pattern, we likely have one more leg down. And what do you know? That would bring us to this lower fib level, 0.618. At that sweep of 166 for that liquidity, possibly as low as 162. Okay. So again, those are just some potential scenarios. Don't shoot the messenger. I know some folks are like, yesterday you said 166 and it's at 180 today. That's true, folks. That's cryptocurrency. If you're not familiar with the market, it changes every day, quite literally. Anyways, what I want to get at here, the hourly, is just to clarify a couple things. We're still above the cloud. That's generally positive. The lagging span's free and clear, that's also good, and conversion lines above the baseline. These are 3 out of 3 signs to not take a short position and to keep your long position open. Me personally, with everything we're seeing here, the shift in momentum, unless Bitcoin can break 65,000 of the downside, which I think is still likely, considering how much liquidation is there. By the way, let's see here. This is Bitcoin's chart, right? we take a look here, Bitcoin's bouncing off its 0.618 fib level on the more recent retracement. When we look at that, we recognize the price could rally back up to that 66,000 mark. With the amount of liquidation though that's there at 65K, it's pretty substantial, somewhere in the range of 10 to 15 billion. If that is swept, then I would say Solana may lose its support level, may continue to progress lower, but we're above the recent point of control. We have a lot of reasons why you should not take a short position. So I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because we took a short position recently, but there's a lot of contributing factors leading into that. This one, however, this analysis here today has contributing factors leading into a increase in price, not a decrease. Again, I hope I'm wrong and the price goes down if you're shorting, or I hope I'm wrong and the price goes up and you're taking a long, right? But again, this is not enough for me to want to take a trade. I have to have like a 95% inclination to want to take a trade. What I mean by that is you should, when you analyze charts, when you look at things, you should be convincing yourself majority of the time, roughly 95% of the time, that you don't want to take a trade. There's only 5% of the time that it should happen, and it shouldn't be a way to convince yourself. It should just be like, hey, everything looks good the way that I want it. I like these parameters. I'm going to work with it. Okay, we don't have that right now. So that's what I meant when I opened the video off with don't take a long or a short. There's a reason for that. There's a method to it, and it keeps you from getting destroyed. Okay, if you don't want that for yourself, or wait, no, if you do want that for yourself, you don't want to get destroyed, CryptoCache.tech is a site linked down below. I've got a trading academy, community, and signals group. Highly recommend you check that out. Again, if you are part of my community, make sure you enable and show all channels in the Discord, because this trade alerts, I'm also providing my live charts as well. These things are newer features that some people don't even know exist. So make sure you enable that and check it out. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Either way, thanks again so much for watching. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Thanks again. Take care.